Hi everyone, it's Tara O'Connell back with you. This week I'm going to explain to you why and how having a really simple business plan, like a really simple one, is going to set you apart from the crowd and have customers choose you time after time. And the reason I'm talking about this today is that I've recently been working with loads of small businesses and probably 99% did not have a business plan. So it's really super important. Stick around, I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to show you how you can do it really easily. Okay, so we've all heard the saying that you can't improve if you're not measuring. So if you aren't measuring something, you can't improve upon it. But you can't measure something that doesn't exist. So if you haven't already put your goals down, if you haven't already identified how much you want to earn, how many hours you want to work, exactly what your business is going to do, if you haven't identified all those things, how can you measure them to see if they're succeeding? You can't. And it's not surprising, I guess, that so many small businesses do not have a business plan because there's an assumption that it's going to take loads of time and loads of money. They might need to get a consultant in. And the reality is that you don't need to do any of those things, and it doesn't take that long at all. Now, not only do you not need a consultant, I would highly recommend, strongly recommend, that you don't get a consultant. Because the best business plan for your business is one that you've written yourself and one that you own and you know like the back of your hand. So what should go into this really simple business plan? Now, firstly, it's only going to be a few pages long, okay? It doesn't need to be a book. And it needs to be a document that you refer to at least weekly. So it's something that's going to be really actionable. It's not just those old 1980s vision, mission sort of statements. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a plan that's going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be, but in a fairly straight line rather than the zigzag that you're going to go down if you don't have a clear plan. So what should be in this plan? Well, the first thing for me in my planning is always your purpose, your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? Now, I have recorded some blogs previously on your why. So if you'd like to go and refresh the importance of the why, the purpose, then I've put the link to those blogs here for you. But ultimately, your why is going to go right up front there with your business name. So the next thing you're going to put in your plan are your values. So it's really important to have those core values, those business values and personal values up front in your plan, particularly down the track when you start looking for partners, because you need to get partners on board who have the same values. The third thing to identify in your plan is your ideal customer, because again, if you don't know who you're selling to, then it's going to be really difficult to sell anything. Next are your goals. So your SMART goals. They have to be specific, measurable, achievable within the time frame, realistic, and timely. Next is basically the strategic direction of your business. And then we look at the key areas of your business. So some of us will have, well, all of us should have governance as one of the areas of our business. So the governance, financial management, and then of course the things that we're selling, whether it's products, services, apps, whatever it might be, that things that we're selling. And then perhaps it's things like research and development or events or whatever it might be that's specific to your business. But basically, they're the key areas of your business. Next, we go on and we have a look at the activities that you need to do to achieve those goals that you've identified. Now, if this is all sounding really confusing and your eyes are starting to glaze over, stay with me because I do have a business planning tool. So it's the Paint by Numbers business planning tool because it's quite literally that simple, that it's a step-by-step paint by numbers plan. And what I've done in this plan is made it, firstly, it's a fillable PDF. So you can do it online or you can print it if you like a pen and paper like I do. But I've given you examples in every section. So it's basically a prompter. You can go through and write your plan. You will have a plan within a couple of hours And if you're ever applying for grants, if you're ever applying for awards, if you're ever looking for partners, this plan is going to be essential. So you absolutely need a plan anyway. But as I said in the beginning, if you're not putting your goals down on paper, how will you know if you've achieved them? How will you know what you need to do to achieve them? And how will you feel that you're heading in the right direction? And you know those days where it's hard. Business, sometimes being in business for yourself is really hard. And it's important to know that you're on the right track. And so having a plan in place and following the plan is essential. And it's especially essential on those days where you go, what on earth am I doing? Now, I like to do planning with a friend or a couple of friends, so feel free to use this tool and bring your mastermind buddies together and bounce things around. You might have people within your team that you'd like to do planning with, or you might really enjoy doing planning on your own. Anyway, you just need a plan. Once you've got a plan in place, you then know you're on the right track. You then know you're doing all the right things so that you can stand out from the crowd. It's a crowded marketplace out there. So you need to do whatever you can to stand out from the crowd and have customers choose you. And having a plan in place really is the foundation that will help you achieve that. So I've put a link here to the business plan. Feel free to go in and have a quick look. And if it's for you, then you can grab a copy of the business plan and start planning. I'm always in the Facebook page. If you have questions about your planning process, feel free to ask in the page. If you're one of my Shine program members, then you already have the plan and we're discussing it over in the private group. So feel free to ask any questions there as well. That's all for me for today. So hopefully this has been useful. I know once you have your plan in place that you will feel a huge sense of relief. I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye for now.